Yes, we are live. How is everybody doing? Make sure to absolutely destroy the like button. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. Smash it up, legends, because we are here, we are live. We're going to take a look at the price of Bitcoin, taking a look at the different waves, different scenarios, levels of confluence. Destroy the like button, guys, on your way in. We'll be doing some full analysis on the price of Bitcoin. We also are going to be taking a look at the Bitcoin futures, CME futures gap that we do have down here. I know there's going to be a lot of people saying we got a massive gap that needs to be filled. Let me know. Do you think that gap is going to get filled? Or are we going to smash through $70,000? Let me know, guys, in the comment section. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Right away. And we are going to dive in right away into the technical analysis on Bitcoin. We ain't going to zoom out too much over here. But are we breaking out from this descending wedge scenario pattern? And we are just going to absolutely explode in the next coming days. All-time highs on the way, guys. Do you think all-time highs will be hit in November? We're just going to close October in a few days. Do you believe that all-time highs is coming in November? Let me know right away. What do you believe, legends? Let's go. James. Yes, I am here. Hello, 𝗬𝗍𝗿𝗫, 100%. Another push-up, KO kills shorts. Yes, true. I am in a short position, but I'm going to be actually quite defensive. I do see a wick here to the upside happening. I'm really not too convinced. I'm going to be defensive because the price is quite bullish. Yes, it could be choppy in this range. Maybe a slight loss. Maybe an ever so slight loss. However, I do believe that we could be getting a wick. It is bullish. We just had the stock market open. We are at a big resistance on Bitcoin. Why is it a big resistance? Well, basically, it is a weekly level, okay? It is a weekly level that we do have here. It is the 0.88 Fibonacci. So there is a chance of a possibility of a rejection at this point. However, what is disturbing is that we do have a bunch of liquidity sitting ever so slightly above us. 69.2, 69.3. We do have a few $100 million of liquidity ever so slightly above us. So it would be nice to actually have an attempt of a breakout, have an attempt of a big wick to the upside, and see if we can manage to reject from that weekly and that 0.88 Fibonacci. But I don't like it when we are consolidating where we do have the weekly level. There we go. We're having an attempt on a breakout right now. So we are going to be sweeping all of that liquidity that we do have above us. Price is just consolidating at the weekly. No major rejection. We did have one tap, one rejection. Could it reject afterwards? It's just getting very, very complicated right now. I prefer the price to actually move up, boom, start rejecting down. Don't do any funny business of consolidating here in a massive uptrend, because this is a full recipe to get get that pop to the upside. Will we get that extensive move right now and then get the rejection? That is the question, of course. Will we manage to hit these highs from last Monday at $69,500? I think there could be a high chance, but the price has not been easy right now. I want to see that wick. I want to see that movement, stopping out all of those shorts that are entering right there, and we could potentially jump in, okay? But I need that move. I need the move that pops out, and if it just continues popping out, then obviously we are looking for the highs of Monday at 69.5K. Let's see if we do just get that push, sweep up the liquidity, and then look for that possible rejection. We do have a little bit of a dodgy, but I think it could happen. A little bit of a dodgy bat pattern, guys. What is a bat pattern? It's a harmonic pattern right over here. And what is nice about this bat pattern, it is extremely symmetrical here at the 0.88 Fibonacci, right? Give or take a bit of room, but it's extremely symmetrical. What do I mean by it's extremely symmetrical? Well, basically what we do have here, looking at this harmonic pattern, let's go right away and grab on here the bat pattern, even though it's a little bit extensive here on the B wave. What is very interesting is that we do have it's very symmetrical. but the price is popping out, so we could be looking at something completely different. Let's say we've got Fibonacci time from this high of Monday, last Monday, to this peak high. 1-to-1 is just in a couple of hours from now. It is popping out, grabbing that liquidity, and I need to give a shout out. So yeah, this short not being easy eventually. Already out of that short position, close to break even. It was not worth it. When we hit such a good level of confluence, we want either a hit, retracement, and start moving down. None of this funny business consolidating at the resistance. This is a full recipe for a breakout. We want to hit once, maybe twice, then hasta luego, goodbye. Not coming up into the level, bang, bang, consolidating with higher lows, just looking for that ascending triangle formation to just get the pop here to the upside. It's a level that I want it to be hit, and I want it to leave relatively fast, not start dancing around at the level for over an hour with higher lows. That is a full recipe to get that explosive breakout. Now I have to give a shout out to Aiden and 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽, looking for some incredible long positions here throughout today. Let's see if we do reject from that weekly level very, very nicely, or are we going to continue to the upside? We need the rejection. We need a possible back test. We need a nice rejection, then a possible bounce in a three-wave structure, bearish CVD divergence. Then that could be the moment that the price starts rolling down. For the moment, it is trying to tempt here to get those breakouts to the upside. And first of all, shout out to Aiden, very early this morning, providing long setup here from this range right over here. Beautiful long position. We just got the rejection right. We got the wick beneath the weekly, above it again. Yeah, it's just been very, very building up. It's just building up here into the level. I would love to see a rejection and a possible bounce, and then we can analyze definitely this structure. Pushing through. It wants to pop. Shout out to Aiden in the Legends trading community, absolute legend, providing this long setup here from $67,600 range, and also a long setup from the $68,150. We had an old daily level right there, just basic resistance support flip, 50% Fibonacci, looking at the internal waves, looking for this level to get the bounce, and that is what exactly happened. Legend trading community here on fire with Aiden and 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽. Not too much with myself, because the only short position that I was looking at here was right over here, stopped out at break even, as you did see, and it's just currently above the weekly level. So it does look like it wants to attempt to maybe hit the highs from last Monday. Now, it's very difficult in this zone. For me, it's a no trading zone, to be honest. Yes, we are grabbing liquidity. Yes, this high is maybe not going to be taken, and we're going to get the pullback before. However, I would like to see a possible strong rejection and a back test of the weekly. A confirmation that we are moving down, that we are seeing the bears pulling the price back down, and then obviously look for that retracement up for the back test with some bearish CVD divergence. That would be the ideal scenario here for this plan. Okay, however, we're just breaking through. It does look like we want to have an attempt in testing the highs from Monday. It's just breaking above the level of resistance, which is that weekly and the 0.88. And I want to know in the comment section, guys, are you bullish for Bitcoin? Will we hit all-time high in November? I'm actually going to do a poll right away. I'm actually going to do a poll right now. Short position failed, stopped out at break even. Let's start that poll right away and ask the community. Bitcoin, all-time high for November. Yes or no, legends? Let me know right away. What do you think? Are we just going to be popping out in the next coming weeks? Right? We're only about $4,000 from, $5,000 from actually hitting all-time high. Bitcoin can move $5,000 easily in a 1 to 2 days. Do you believe that Bitcoin will be hitting all-time high in November, right? We still have a few days to close October. Let me know right away on the poll, guys, if you do believe that all-time high is coming in November. We have 70% of the people saying yes, it is happening. It is happening. For the moment, above the weekly, it does look like it's going to have an attempt in hitting these highs right over here from last Monday at $69,500. The only thing is we have seen many times the price just missing by $100 or $200 and hitting a previous high, just like this one right over here, right? Where it does look like that the price is just going to take out the high, and suddenly just $100 before hitting the high, it just gets the major drop. So now this is the question. Of course, this for me would be an extremely difficult zone to look for a setup with good risk management, because we basically above the weekly and below this level. And of course, I realize the possible rejection, and I realize that high being taken. So for me, this is really not a great zone to actually look for a long or a short position, because it could either pop out here from the highs of last Monday, or it could just front run the level and get the major pullback. Okay, so it is for me a little bit of a dangerous level. Would I consider a failed breakout from here and then the retracement? Absolutely yes. It could be a liquidity grab above 69,500. Would consider with good risk management, and I would take that a little bit more as a swing short position. I wouldn't risk too much. I would have a relatively nice stop loss above the highs, but I would be targeting for much lower levels. Long trading setups, much better throughout the day on these pullbacks. We had a beautiful daily level right there. Shout out to Aiden again, looking for the long scalps on the retracement. Also 𝗕𝗏𝘆 looking for the breakout of these descending channels, right? These kind of small little bull flags, looking for the strategy of breakout, boom, test the highs. Beautiful scalps mentioned in the Legends trading community. Shout out to Aiden, absolutely on fire the last few days, even the last few weeks, providing those beautiful setups and those entry points, looking for the momentum to continue, backtest the daily, absolutely on fire. Also 𝗕𝗏𝘆, absolutely on fire, looking for the long setups as well throughout the day. Now, of course, you might think long right now. We're coming just to test that weekly level. A quick test of the weekly. We have swept all of that liquidity right now. So let me just refresh the liquidity heat map and take a look how we are just eating up that liquidity at 69.1, 69.2. There is still quite a little bit more slightly above us. Rejecting right now from the weekly. Now, what I would like to see is a confirmation pullback. A confirmation pullback. You know, get the movement down. We're going to be eyeing the VWAP as well. VWAP could provide a possible long setup. Okay, we're going to be paying close attention to the VWAP, which is sweeping up this low. That could definitely happen throughout the next coming minutes. We're getting the pullback right now. What is the S&P doing? Let's take a look at the stock market. Dollar index, stock market, just getting a movement down. Dollar index looks pretty good because we are hitting that resistance. Let's take a look at dollar index here right away, because dollar index is hitting that point of control from the last 2 years. It's getting a lot of choppiness in this range. It would be nice to see that pullback on the dollar index. So still uptrending Bitcoin. Bitcoin still uptrending with higher lows. Very choppy. I would consider a possible scalp long if we were to come down to the VWAP and look for that bounce. Then I would consider a possible short as a backtest from the weekly, only if we form bearish CBD divergence. That would be the internal scenarios that I would be looking at. Do not trust this pullback here, this loss of the weekly. still maintaining very strong uptrend momentum throughout the day. So I need that momentum to be broken, sweep up these lows, hit the VWAP. This gets a reaction, bounce, and then possibly the exhaustion to come back down. We want to see bearish CVD divergence and that backtest of the weekly level. That is what I would be attempting. The attempt of the short on the weekly has failed for the moment, and I would just want to see a confirmation of a rejection here to look for a possible short on a lower high once we break down. Of course, VWAP, there's a good scalp long here. That is something that I will be taking a look at. Set some alerts right away on the chart. Well, we're going to be in front of the charts anyway. No alerts needed. Let's go right away through the comment section. Say hello to the beautiful community. Hi, Andy. I just told my girlfriend that I haven't heard from you for a couple of days. Oreo, how are you doing, my man? Will there be a CVD tutorial? There is a CVD tutorial in the Legends trading community, I have to say. But yeah, we could be doing, I did a couple of CVD tutorials on live streams, okay? It is not that complex to understand, okay? It's not that difficult. CVD tutorial is, it's relatively simple to understand. CVD divergence, we're not going to do it right now, but I'm just going to explain it ever so quickly, okay? If the price action forms higher lows and the CVD forms lower lows, that means that you have bullish CVD divergence, you have more shorts entering in this zone, and you're likely going to take out the highs. On the other side, if you do have bearish CVD divergence, which is basically getting the price action, okay, forming some lower highs and higher highs on the CVD, right? That is when you are likely going to be taking the lows here that you formed in that local price action. So basically, if we were to get a major rejection right now, what I would want to see is that rejection, very strong rejection, price action. Let me just delete that right away. Breakdown, bounce here in a bit of a three-wave move and get the CVD to create, okay, higher highs right over here, right? And lower highs on the price action. So get people interested in longing again to see if the price is going to break above 69,500. And I would be interested in the short. That means there's a lot of longs entering late and they're possibly going to get squeezed out. That is what I would like to see for the possible short, okay? For the moment, very uptrending, very wicky at the weekly. Breakdown, possible bounce at the VWAP in this higher low right there. And then I would be looking at something like this. If it does form in a three-wave structure, I'm looking for bearish CVD divergence. Backtest of these levels are absolutely phenomenal. We had this daily level, and we can see how the daily level did provide that resistance yesterday. Beautiful resistance from the daily, a bit choppy, a bit difficult, of course. Just like today with the weekly, I have to say, you get the price hitting the daily, a wick above it, and then of course back test and coming back down. Now what happened is that you got a successful breakout just today and you back tested it as support. This was the daily level from a few days ago. Now we got the weekly, very choppy, nice move up here. We could be getting the pullback, however we are still forming higher lows. So what we would like to see is that proper rejection down and then back up to back test it and move to the downside. The back test would be a solid zone to have an attempt on the rejection from this weekly level. Just like we did here on the lower time frames, right? You got a wick, back up, wick, then you back test the daily, right? On a lower time frame, this would be a little bit more on a higher time frame, right? And then look for that roll over. Now, the main reason why we could see that is because we do have this high, and we've seen it a lot of the times where we just a few $100s without hitting that high, and the price just doesn't cope to hit that high just yet after a few days, right? So I want to see the rejection. I want to see the weakness for the moment, there is really not too much weakness here. The price is very much in bullish momentum, higher lows, maintaining the higher lows. So a break of the structure could get a nice bounce here. This would be a pretty nice scalp long. The VWAP and the sweep of this low, and I would be targeting here the 618, potentially the weekly from this movement down. Let's see if we do get that leg to the downside. We'll be doing a little bit of scalping. This would have been an aggressive short position right over here. Aggressive scalp, already moved down about $400. It's aggressive. It is that they are aggressive when you're above the level of resistance, and you know that you do have that high right over here so close. It is extremely, extremely difficult, right? Because you know you can just get wicked out here. The risk management is not too great. So let's continue through the comment section. I do see a lot of people are quite bullish for November. Getting the rejection right now from the weekly was not easy at all. Looking at the lower time frame, we did hit it again, and then the breakout, now the rejection. It's going to be interesting to see this movement to the downside. Would we be expecting sweep over the lows? If it does, and a possible instant bounce from this VWAP. VWAP session, always really good for resistance and support. And a sweep of the lows would be something that I would consider. Just with the 7-8 from this latest move. Yeah, we'll be taking a look at the lower time frames, guys, to analyze the different possible setups. Still in uptrend momentum. I think, you know, it's a dangerous short. It is a dangerous long. We want to see that confirmation of the break. And obviously, this kind of momentum would be the ideal, right? If the price moves down successfully and we start bouncing with low volume, we got divergence on the volume, right? We got the volume here creating lower highs, and you get that bounce, and then you get bearish CVD divergence. Would be considering a backtest of the weekly, already breaking this structure for that leg to the downside. That would be the highest probability scenario that I would see here next. A bit aggressive for the long here, based on stop loss. You know, we are looking for scalps. It's all about where putting stop. Yes, we are maintaining higher low support, but we've already hit the weekly. We've already got rejected. No longs for me here, or shorts. Let's go right away. We are still inside an anti-Gartley pattern from the 27th of September highs to the 15th of October highs, says Sin Games. The invalidation for this would be 69,621. If we fall, the target move can go as low as $53,000. Wow. On the 1 hourly time frame, anti-Gartley. Absolutely insane. Yeah, on the 1 hourly time frame, unless you're talking about this one right over here. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me know the pivots, because Gartley's, you know, it could be at the 1 hourly time frame, 4 hourly time frame. Let me know the coordination of that. Harmonic. Tito, good morning. CME gap. We do have that disturbing CME gap, right? CME gap. We do not need to fill them, guys. Remember that we do have a massive CME futures gap. Not a massive one, but we do have a CME futures gap all the way down here at $54,000. The price has pumped over $15,000 for the last several weeks without filling that gap that we did form in September, guys. It is still there. So gaps are not a guaranteed pullback that needs to happen, all right? So just stay cautious if you're trading like short now, because we need to fill the gap. There's no need to fill the gap. Liquidity at $68,240. 62,000. Yeah, we do have some liquidity down there as well. We've just swept some significant liquidity above 69,200. We still have a little bit more. We have been sweeping some liquidity. There is still more liquidity above us. We're very, very close to hitting that liquidity. So I'm a little bit concerned about this breakdown. 9K BTC CME gap. Let's go. Yeah, we do have a CME gap also at $9,000, guys. $9,000. We'll be taking a look at Chainlink later on. I am extremely bullish on Chainlink. Extremely bullish on the higher time frame. Maybe lower time frame doesn't look that good. We'll be doing a little bit of analysis on slightly higher time frame and some internal levels. There was some beautiful scalp longs here mentioned on one of the latest live streams from last week, where we did pull out Chainlink. And the idea of last week, okay, looking at Chainlink, was a quick liquidity grab from this pivot low right over here. It did get a nice bounce of a couple of percentage, right? It was the only kind of, 4-5%, yeah, not just under 5%. It was a scalp long mentioned from the latest live stream, where we did take a look at Chainlink, right? Sweep of that higher low right there, because we were trading at this zone. We were moving up. Would be nice to sweep up that low to get a nice little bounce. And we basically got a nice bounce of, 4 to 5%. Just for scalping, guys. Price is very, very choppy, very up and down, up and down. We haven't got any big major projections just yet. Very rangy, up, back down, up, back down. If you're scalping, you want to take profits. If we talk about a level for a bounce or a rejection, you want to start taking profits, all right, at internal levels of support and resistance. Anyway, we'll be going through Chainlink in just a while. We'll be continuing with Bitcoin on the higher time frame, okay, because we need to try and understand what the heck has happened throughout the last few days, right? What the heck is this? Is this a massive impulsive move? Is this the end of the correction? We're just forming a 1-2, boom, we entering a third wave, or are we just going to be forming a continuation of a correction? It's like, oh my god, oh my goodness, what is this? What we do see here is a very three-wave structure. That is what is disturbing from this move. Very three-wavy, right? However, what we do see here as well, and this is where it gets extremely confusing. This is where we got bullish case and bearish case combined, and we have no idea which one has the highest probability at the moment. Just because we moved up in this range from the 10th of October in a three-wave move, and we moved down in a three-wave move as well. So it's like, okay, this is no longer looking bearish for massive impulsive moves down. This doesn't look extremely bullish. This, still looks part of, a possible correction. We were talking about the only bullish case that there is looking at this price action would be looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we are in the fifth formation, right? We did not, this wave 4 right there, very nice three-wave structure. Fibonacci from the low to the high, just getting below 50%. We mentioned this on one of the live streams as we were coming down. Hey, this is a kind of the last chance for the macro bulls looking at the higher time frame for this to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We got a pump. We got a big pullback almost to the 0.88, or actually to the 0.88. Yeah, we did surpass the 0.88, my bad. Very rare for a wave 2, but acceptable. Could this be a wave 1, wave 2? We're in the formation of a wave 3 here, wave 4 and 5. And we are counting this as an impulsive move in the end. There is that scenario, okay, regarding, Elliott wave theory, that it is possible. Of course, there's, many other different scenarios as well, looking at a contracting diagonal, right? We've got this, kind of ascending wedge, right? For any pattern trader out there. Hey, we got a bit of an ascending wedge here. We've got three waves, three waves, three waves, three waves, three waves. Could it be a possibility that this has been the top and we're just going to struggle very much here and then start getting that pullback? We need to give the bears a chance. It is definitely possible. It is definitely possible. So there's many different scenarios. The best thing that we can do is trade the levels, right? Or trade the uptrend, just like today in the Legends trading community. Again, shout out to Aiden and Devolt. just jumping into those long positions. 𝗖𝗿 providing a long position right over here very early this morning at $67,600 range. Also one over here, back test from that old daily, right? Following the momentum, back test, absolutely epic. Beautiful long position right there. Also right here, and 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽 providing the more conservative long setup, which was basically the breakout from this channel, from this wedge, and use the breakout strategy, right? Which is basically just jumping in along on the breakout, stop loss below the resistance support trend line, and eventually targeting the highs, not giving a massive risk to reward, but overall more than a 2-to-1 risk to reward, which is already pretty much acceptable. So just following the momentum to the upside. And right now, of course, we got the weekly level. Weekly levels, very disturbing, not easy, not a zone to become extremely bullish as we hit the resistance, right? Let's take a look at the previous weekly levels on Bitcoin. The weekly levels from the last few months. We got a few of them. Let's just take a look how the price reacted to the last 3 lower high weekly levels. We got one right over here. We got another one right over here. Okay, and we got, this one right over here as well. What happened with this weekly level back in March? You got a wick to the upside inside of the week, straight back down. Weekly close and open. The next week we got above it, big rejection. What happened to the next weekly level? This one here, lower high. We also saw from that weekly level in June, right? These are very important levels. Weeklies, you always need to take them into consideration. It might look like that you're breaking above it throughout the lower time frames, but then look at this one right there. You get above it and you close the weekly very bearish. I mean, this was in the first week of August, right, where we had the Japanese crash, interest rates going up by 25 basis points, right? This was a very, very bearish week in August. Regardless, it was hitting a weekly level. So what is happening now is, Bitcoin is tapping that weekly level. We can see it right over here. It's hitting the weekly level. Yeah, we could get above it. We could reject from it. This is why, for me, the only setup that I would see available for a short is actually right now getting a proper rejection on the lower time frames, right? This one, you could arguably discuss. Still not the best looking rejection. Still not the best looking rejection. Let's take a look at CVD right away here, guys, because not convinced too much from this rejection. A lot of shorts entering here on Bybit, forming bullish CVD divergence. Already that is a red flag for the bears. We already got a red flag here because we have incredible short positions entering on Bybit, forming higher lows, giving a high chance that the highs could be taken again. We do not want to see a huge amount of shorts entering the market on this movement. We got a few million here just at the lows entering 68.6, and that's creating the bullish CVD divergence, giving the chance for the bulls here to actually recover from that weekly. I would prefer to see a much larger move down. Get the confirmation move down here, breaking the structure properly, and then look for the bounce, of course, and then look for that rollover back down. This is very quick, very small. You're still maintaining bullish momentum. You're forming bullish CVD divergence. It's not convincing. You got a high chance that the highs could be taken. So let's take a look at the poll right away here. What do we have on the poll? No trades active for the moment. At the moment, no trades active. We'll be talking a bit of higher time frame levels, also zooming in on the lower time frame levels. Scalp longs provided in the Legends trading community. One right over here, one right over here, one with the breakout for the conservative traders. And the only attempt that I was seeing here was a possible short at the weekly and already out at break even. Not going to risk it at the moment. But there will be time to see, for that possible short, get the rejection, get the breakdown of this structure we'll be analyzing the pump back up basically on the retracement, see if we can find bearish CVD divergence and jump into the short position. But right now, the level did get a reaction, right? We did react to the level. However, the momentum was looking too bullish. We were just hitting the resistance, forming higher low, hit it again, then the breakout. Reaction was there, but overall volatility and still consolidating at the weekly zone. That's not what we want to see. When you hit such an important level, you want the price to hit it once and start rejecting quite aggressively, or hit it twice, double top, and then start rejecting aggressively. The moment you start consolidating at the level for over an hour with higher lows, it is just not a good level anymore. It's just not reliable for the short. You're consolidating, you're forming higher lows, there's no proper rejection, so it ends up looking quite bullish, right? It ends up looking, quite dangerous to short already. You either hit it and reject aggressively, or you hit it and you potentially hit it one more time to create the double top, and then you're rolling back down. This, not too convincing. Big consolidation at the weekly, not rejecting, meaning that you do see the bullish momentum. You're seeing the bullish demand with higher lows here. There's more interest in buying pressure and longing pressure here. So you want it to go down. I want for me to enter a short, I would want to see a significant move down with some, pretty intense volume. Then the retracement will be looking pretty interesting. If we do get that three wave, we get the price action looking like, very, with a corrective move, get the bearish divergence, right, on the volume, see the volume decreasing as we get that bounce, and then attempt a possible short. Right now, not interested. We've got local bullish CVD divergence, big major consolidation on the weekly. I do realize and understand that this right now for me is just not a good shorting level. Okay, could be looking for the highs to be taken again. And that is just realizing and understanding the reading of the chart. You either hit the weekly and reject, or you hit it and you double top it and you start rejecting very, very aggressively. But yeah, with this consolidation, hitting it back down, back up again, you're forming higher lows. This is just really building up here, really building up for that possible pop. Liquidity at 69.6, that is correct. We still have some significant liquidity. Obviously this is not good for the bears, right? Anybody that isn't attempting a short, like I said, I'm not interested right now. The weekly failed on the rejection, so we move to the next scenario, right? I'm not going to be, having an attempt and trying to short it and short it again and short it. It's just, I do not like the price action into the weekly level right now. So I'd want to see a major pullback, and then, would consider that bounce. I will consider the bounce for the possibility of a lower high right there, and then start maybe a bearish momentum. For the moment, the momentum is still bullish. The weekly level is getting an extremely large consolidation, and this is just bullish market structure throughout the last few days. So very, very difficult. We want to see a breakdown. We want to see a sign of weakness from the bulls, and we want to see that movement down. Then we can consider, depending on how the price bounces in a three-wave structure, that we could be seeing the lower high, especially if we do have bearish CVD divergence. That would be like the golden ticket, right? That would be the golden ticket where you get the rejection. This is what you do not want to see. You're seeing bullish CVD divergence right now. So that is what you do not want to see for the short position. This gives high probability that the highs could be taken out again. What I would want to see is the price moving down, okay? And when we get the movement down with the bounce, I want to see this CVD forming higher highs on all of the exchanges, or just on Bybit, it doesn't matter. And then eventually look for that rollover back down, looking for the next wave, right? The good thing about getting into these waves, the first wave is extremely complex to get into, right? You're hitting a weekly, you're hitting a high time frame level of resistance. it's forming higher lows, you're tackling the level, building up into the level, realizing it could pop, and it's difficult with this consolidation to get into the first wave. However, what is easier to understand and is to get into the third wave. That's where you get the first major move down with high volume, right? And then you get the bounce, which is very three-wave structure. And that is when you want to speculate, looking at the golden pocket from the movement down, the 7/8 Fibonacci, potentially a backtest of the weekly, which with the 7/8 Fib, right? Bearish CVD divergence, you're getting a bunch of people long in here on the bounce, right? Speculating that we are going to pop out to $70,000. And then the price, what it does is formed, okay, a third wave or a C wave. You want to be in this wave right over here. They are much easier to detect when you have a first wave and a second wave, or an A wave and a B wave. So we need that rejection, we need high volume, then we can say, okay guys, this looks pretty good for the bounce, all right, to form a lower high. Getting onto the first wave is really trying to speculate that the top is in, right? The top is in at this weekly level, which it could be. It could be. We have seen this multiple times on Bitcoin, where you are just a few $100s in taking out the higher time frame high from last Monday, and the price just suddenly rejects. This has been happening consistently. We got one right over here. You just $100, right? Not even that, without taking the high. We have other multiple examples, right, throughout the last few months, okay? Multiple different scenarios that have happened here throughout the last few months. I think on this one, on Bybit, we did not take that high. We were just a couple of, or we just about did take that high right there. But there is many scenarios, especially from the last few weeks, where you just $100 or $200 without taking the high. This one did happen on Bybit, right, where it did look like that high was going to be taken, and you just a few dollars, or without hitting the high, and then the price reverses. So, could that be the case here? Could that be the case where you're just going to front run those highs from last Monday and then get the pullback? It is very possible. This is really not an easy zone at the moment to get into either a long or a short. The best setup that I would see here available would be that rejection. For a long position, I would really want slightly lower. I would attempt the VWAP. Would be nice to get that wick down very quickly. Snipe along, you could get a significant bounce from that VWAP, sweeping up these higher lows and just maintain the bullish momentum. This for me would be the ideal long setup. Quick scalp, quick SFP, VWAP, get the reaction, stop loss at the low, snipe a trade and look for that bounce. You're looking for a 2-3 to 1 risk to reward. Nothing too serious. And of course, depending on how we move here to the upside, the 618, 7/8 Fibonacci would be a take profit zone. It's just trying to detect the possible waves that could happen inside of this area, like very aggressive scalping. VWAP, sweep up the lows, bounce. If we move in a three-wave matter here with bearish CVD divergence, we suddenly get lots of longs entering here. Then we can speculate on that third wave down to sweep up the lows again. Just waiting for the waves and the signs of weakness in this case. If not, we back up to the highs based on bullish CVDs. Still aggressive long in my opinion here. Bit of an aggressive long. Let's go right away. I don't have any idea short or long today. Well, this is a higher time frame level of resistance, right? It's a weekly level. It's the 0.88. It's not easy. I already had a short attempt as we were beginning this, getting the beginning of the stream. However, the price was just consolidating too much here into the weekly, tapping it several times, 1, 2, 3, then the fourth, breaking out, then fake out. Very difficult to detect that short position. We are back testing the weekly level, but we are forming bullish CVDs right there. So it's kind of bullish CVD divergence, higher low support structure. I want to see a little bit more of weakness. I want to see, you know, the movement down. Of course, we want to try and, you know, catch a big retracement. This would be a nice swing failure pattern with the VWAP. But then if we move like this throughout the next 1 to 2 hours, if we move in a 3-wave structure after getting a movement down with some pretty nice volume, we could definitely form a lower high right there at the golden pocket from the drop, maybe 7-8 weekly back test. If we get bearish CVD divergence, meaning on the CVD you're forming higher highs and lower highs on the price action, definitely a great attempt, because if you can manage to get into the third wave or the C wave, it is absolutely golden. C waves or third waves, obviously you are expecting them to be larger than the first wave. So if we do get that proper rejection, right, from the weekly, for the moment, it is just bullish CVDs, higher lows, tackling the level, consolidating. It might as well can pop out, right? It might as well pop out with the structure, with the bullish CVDs. I want to see the first initial wave. I need the first initial wave right now. I was happy to attempt the weekly. We just hit it a couple of times. We're still in bullish market. Not going to attempt it again after this consolidation. When you're building up with higher lows into a level, there is nothing bearish about trying to short it here, here, or here. It's just going to possibly pop out, right? You're getting the demand with higher lows pushing, which possibly could get that pop to the upside. So not, you know, what would be the best scenario is waiting for the first leg down, right? Get the first leg down. And once you get that first leg down, you can definitely speculate on the second wave to top out, or the B wave, and looking for topping ranges. And what do you need? You need your Fibonacci. You're looking at the golden pocket, right? You're looking at the bearish CVD divergence, very important, right? You need that leg down, boom, instant reaction bounce. I mean, with slightly below the VWAP or wherever it bounces, right? If it does cross very aggressively the VWAP, end is low, and it does not SFP, then eventually we're looking for lower. But there will be a moment where it gets a bounce. This bounce needs to happen slower than the movement down. If we get that move down, very aggressive with volume, and this bounce happens slower in a 3-wave move, that is when we're looking at, okay, this could be a wave 2 or a wave B, and I'm interested in that wave 3 to claim the lows at least, but obviously looking for lower, you know, wave 2, wave B, to look for the wave C or the wave 3. But we need the first wave, right? We need that movement. We need that aggressive move down, sign of weakness of the bulls, and then looking for that corrective move, right? Then I would say now it looks pretty good. I have the initial wave that is giving me that confidence that the price, you know, that the bulls are losing steam and the bears are coming into play. And then obviously the bulls, if they cannot manage to see some power here, right, to the upside, and we're getting this bounce absorbed by larger players, right, that would be absolutely epic, where you do get those bearish CVD divergence, right? You're getting the higher highs on the CVD, right, either in the blue or in the yellow, rest of exchanges, right? Then eventually that is what you're looking at here. But I want to see that big move down. I want to see the first initial stages of the bears. Right now we're just in, it's bullish momentum. We've got higher lows, bullish momentum. 𝗬𝗏𝘆, my man, he is here, the legend. Oh my goodness, he is here. He is here in the comment section, guys. Go and check out 𝗬𝗏𝘆 right away. He is, if you don't know 𝗬𝗏𝘆, guys, woo, he's absolutely on fire, just like Aiden, much more than me, in the Legends trading community. So you need to go and check him out, guys. Shout out to you, 𝗬𝗏𝘆. I'm going to pin your YouTube here right away in the comment section, guys. Go and check him out, 𝗬𝗏𝘆. If you want to see absolute insane alpha on technical analysis on Bitcoin, he actually provided a long setup today on YouTube update. So you need to go and check him out right away. It's in the pinned comment, guys. If you do not know who 𝗬𝗏𝘆 is, he actually provided a long setup on his video update today. and he's on fire, just like 𝗖𝗿 is. 𝗖𝗿, extremely active, really like in the zone. 𝗖𝗿, shout out to you, my man. I know you're around in the comment section. He is, you know, Trading in the Zone, the book, Trading in the Zone, when you're in the zone. 𝗖𝗿 is in the zone right now. Also 𝗕𝗏𝘆, extremely in the zone. I'm not too much in the zone right now. I'm just looking at specific levels, but they definitely are. And they bring me confidence to also get into these potential trading setups. Long setup from here. Bang. Long setup from here. Backtest of the daily. Just a resistance support flip as well right there. 𝗕𝗏𝘆 also providing the conservative long position from the trend line break, right? From this descending channel flag, if you wish. Targeting the highs. Bang, 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 right? Just following the retracements on the momentum. Absolutely epic. Absolutely epic. And, you know, me for the short position here, failed attempt, stopped out, break even. You know, it is what it is. Not liking it. I do see the build-up of the price action, higher lows. If it ends up rejecting, I am a conservative trader. I realize that the momentum is bullish into the weekly. Bit of volatility. I need to see the first initial wave. I need something that tells me, okay, this bullish momentum that we have been forming throughout the last few days has finished, right? Boom, get a movement down. Get that move down of $500-600, quite aggressive. Then the bounce, you know, is going to be looking interesting. That's what I would be looking at here once we get that aggressive move down. Why wouldn't I believe that this retracement is bullish? Of course, it can be bullish still. It could definitely still be bullish. For the moment, the most aggressive long scalp would be the sweep of the lows and the VWAP. I would still be interested in that long position. We might get that on stream. Managing risk here, it might be, you know, a bit aggressive. The momentum is bullish, right? So if we get certain levels of support being tested, such as the VWAP and this pivot low, let's take a look at this internal wave. It could be a 1-to-1. If this is a move, this the lower high, 1-to-1 extension, sweep up the low, attempt to break VWAP, fail to break VWAP, look for the bounce. 1-to-1 extension. Still be interested in the longs, guys. You know, you are forming higher lows. This would be a nice level of support for that instant bounce of a few $100s. We might hit that level. I like that level. For shorts, we did backtest the weekly. It was a bit aggressive for me right now, just realizing that we are maintaining higher low support. A backtest of the weekly, I would have preferred a little bit more of an aggressive move down and then a nice instant bounce, but get a bit more bearishness on the rejection. More bearish volume did not happen. We're still maintaining higher lows. Yeah, for me it was not the greatest short backtest here from that weekly. 𝗖𝗿 is horrible. Horrible. 𝗖𝗿 is horrible. What's happening with 𝗖𝗿? Is 𝗖𝗿 getting a major pullback? Let's just take a look at overlook here on 𝗖𝗿. 𝗖𝗿 ended up here creating a double top. Bit of a double top throughout the last couple of weeks. Testing the highs right over here. Double top. 𝗖𝗿's pulling back. Yeah, we can do some analysis on 𝗖𝗿. I know 𝗖𝗿 is I know 𝗕𝗏𝘆 very bullish on 𝗖𝗿. 𝗕𝗏𝘆 does hold some spots. 𝗖𝗿 did buy below $1. We could take a look at 𝗖𝗿 later on, okay? BTC dominance, new cycle high. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. BTC dominance. Ooh. This is going up, baby. Altcoins, potentially. Some of them might be pumping, but the Bitcoin dominance, yeah, guys. We are expecting the last hooray, the last rally on the Bitcoin dominance, which is basically maybe getting to 60, 62, 64%. I mean, that would be quite aggressive. But get the last hooray on the Bitcoin dominance. And this is the last chance, guys, to load up. Of course, you do have several weeks, okay? You do have several weeks. This ain't going to happen just like now and it's going to start dumping tomorrow. This is possibly going to take a little bit of time, you know, days, even weeks, to get that like final push to the upside. And then it's just going to bring the greatest opportunity to scoop up some good altcoin projects, guys, because I know altcoins are boring, altcoins are dead, till they're not, right? Till they're not. I've got Chainlink, and Chainlink for me looks incredibly good. Of course, it's boring. We got the major pullback since March. This could still extend for another couple of weeks, but this is looking very, very bullish to the end of the year and Q1 of 2025. We will see this, guys. We will see this. So take it with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt. But if you don't accumulate on bad times in bearish corrective moves, then of course millionaires and a lot of money is made accumulating in bearish market structure. Not when the price is pumping and you're getting into the coin here. You want to do it at low levels, and this is the perfect zone. Well, the perfect zone was this one that we basically been talking about for months here. Yeah, people were actually getting bored of me saying, yeah, okay, you know, this is accumulation zone. The price looks dead, very far away from dead. We're going to be experimenting. We're going to have experimenting the same scenario here on Chainlink. Choppiness, a bit of wicks down, up, rangy. It's a ticking time bomb. This is a ticking time bomb, like I would like to say. Ethereum died. Ethereum is really not performing that well in this cycle, I have to say. But Ethereum, I think, will surprise us. Ethereum will surprise us. When we take a look at the Ethereum BTC chart, oh my goodness, it doesn't look too great. It's still in the accumulation area that you know, I've been talking about throughout the last few months. I still think it looks good. This is the box that I had for many months to say this is the zone where you want to start accumulating Ethereum. We are at the bottom of the box. It looks horrible. It looks horrible. There will be a moment that Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin in gains. That is 100% sure. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, whether it's in the next couple of weeks or in the next couple of months. It's going to happen. There will be a moment eventually that Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin. You're going to get more gains holding Ethereum than holding Bitcoin. However, Bitcoin is the first one. Bitcoin is the one that needs to break all-time high. So it's always better to hold Bitcoin first of all. And once Bitcoin breaks out from all-time high, you want to consider flipping some of that Bitcoin into the L1s, larger caps that haven't pumped too aggressively just yet. It happens on every cycle. It's the bread and butter, right? Bread and butter of the cycle, where you just basically see Bitcoin popping out, right? Where do we have it? Where do we have it? I do have it here somewhere, right? It's the cheat sheet, right? Of course, we are used to seeing Ethereum. This is a cheat sheet from the previous cycle. We should have Solana here at number 2 because Solana has been doing way better than Ethereum. So Solana was kind of the Ethereum killer, right? Which is kind of has been, right? Kind of has been Solana being the Ethereum killer. I remember Solana when it launched in the previous cycle, right? It was called the Ethereum killer, and it very much well outperformed Ethereum this cycle. So it kind of was the Ethereum killer. But Ethereum, it's still the largest ecosystem out there, and it will stretch its legs, okay, in the next coming months at some point. But you want Bitcoin first to break all-time high, right? It's what usually happens. You're going to see Bitcoin breaking all-time high, And a lot of the altcoins dead. They're not doing anything, right? And Bitcoin's trading at, 75, 80K. And, if Bitcoin does manage to stretch its legs, there's going to be so many altcoins that are just pumping very, very small percentages. But then it's where it comes. If you take a look at a comparison from the chart of Bitcoin and altcoins back in 2021, the altcoins did take several weeks and even a few of them in months. Some altcoins did reach all-time high and had a massive stretch in November. There's some altcoins when you do compare, and we could do that now, but we're not going to. I can get some different altcoins, but November was the all-time high, but like big all-time high. You can see some altcoins that had an all-time high back in March, April, and then retracement. And then in November, they had a massive rally, and some of them doing a 5-10x from the highs created in March. I mean, this happened to a lot of the altcoins. Bitcoin only getting a couple of $1,000s above its all-time high. And then you have altcoins back in November doing a 10x from its all-time high, right? A 5-10x on average, a lot of them from the all-time high, except for the large caps, of course. But there were a lot of small caps that were just going through the roof back in November. So it's all about the timing. I wouldn't be too worried. What's up, Legends? Pac-Man, my brother, how are you doing? 643 watching, only 183 likes. Consolidating at the weekly level, still with higher lows. Not easy. I need a bearish confirmation. Already had a short attempt here at the weekly. Got stopped out at break even at the beginning of the stream with this movement. I want to see the bears kicking in for me to speculate on any short position right now, because we just building up higher low momentum. So I need that breakdown, and then eventually I would speculate on a lower high possibly. With bearish CVDs, with a 3-wave momentum, I need the pump to be very much smaller, right? Larger in timing, okay, but smaller moves. But I need a breakdown. I need the bears to kick in. I would be interested in that long position still as well, guys. Here at the VWAP, a sweep of these lows. We are in bullish market structure, so we want to get into the scalp longs as well. Today has been insane in the Legends trading community. Shout out to Aiden and 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽. Looking at longs at these retracements right over here. And yeah, for me, if we want to follow this momentum, I think the best shot is at the VWAP and sweeping up this low right over here. VWAP, higher low, this low over here, and speculate on the momentum to just continue, right? And maybe depending on how we bounce, we might look for a short position. We need to see the bearish CVD divergence. We need to see a very slow 3-wave structure with decreasing volume. And then it's like, okay, right? You want to see that pump with decreasing volume. Yeah, bearish CVD divergence. We could have an attempt in the price getting a large corrective move. But we need this, and we need this. We need the 3-wave move to the upside very slowly, very choppy, no volume, and then speculate on that lower high. But interested in the long, I have to say, because this could just do this, right? We are bullish, so longs are also very much attractive, and the best level to do so would be the VWAP in that sweep of the low. It's just our best scalping level for the moment. So let's see if we do get that pullback, we get that reaction. It's going to be a quick sniper, boom, boom, stop, look for the price to get that bounce overall from this level, just to maintain the momentum, follow the momentum. Momentum is up for the moment. So that would be the best scalp long. And I would be targeting the 618 zone, maybe the weekly back test as a TP1. And, if we TP2 would be the highs, but I would be a little bit concerned. If we move up like this, I would be taking most of the profits from the long and would be interested in that short, especially if we have bearish CVDs. So we need to see how the price develops in the next coming hours or minutes. For the moment, pretty damn bullish still. Higher lows, Weekly has been violated. There's no big major rejection with high volume. So the market structure is bullish, and we are forming bullish CVD divergence. So there is just a high chance that the bulls are gonna, this was actually an aggressive long trade. Bullish CVD divergence locally are going nuts. Lots of shorts entering the market right now. Lots of shorts entering the market, and that is bringing massive bullish CVDs. That could mean that we could be moving to the upside. Big bullish CVDs, guys, with this movement, and we are maintaining higher low support structure. Let's go right away through. BTC is bullish on the weekly. Bitcoin on the weekly looks extremely bullish. Not only bullish, it looks extremely bullish. Why does Bitcoin look bullish on the weekly? Well, we have had confirmation of weekly bullish candle close here, right? And this was already 2 weeks ago. Weekly close, lower high. Weekly close, lower high. Weekly close, lower high. Weekly close, higher high right over here. This is good. We haven't tested the lower high here from July, which is at 70K, but we did close a weekly candle. It's a weekly higher high. It's a weekly close higher high confirmation. So it does look very bullish. It does look very, very bullish. I would like to know how many people are bearish, because when the price goes down, we do get a lot of people very bearish on my channel, I guess on every channel. We're going down to 50K. Where's the 50Ks? Where are the 50Kers? I would like to see where the 50Kers are. They disappeared. Are you bearish? Let me know in the comment section. I know a lot of people are. Where's the poll? Where is that poll? I've pinned 𝗕𝗏𝘆's channel here so you can go and subscribe, because he provides insane education. But where's the poll? Bitcoin all-time high in November. We got 75% of the people saying yes. 75% of the people say yes, we are breaking all-time high in November, baby. Yes, we are. So, absolutely crazy. There is a lot of liquidity above 70K. That is also something that we want to take into consideration when we take a look at the liquidity heat map and we analyze the liquidity that is sitting above 70K. We do have that big liquidity there, as you can see, above $75,000. So without a doubt, we could be very much attempting that move. We could be very much attempting that move. Let me just get these trend lines out of the way. And let's zoom in. Let's zoom in here. Get the levels back on the chart. I'm considering the possibility of the price wicking above the highs from last Monday at 69,500. Bullish CVD divergence, bullish market structure, local longs still in your advantage. Local longs still in your advantage. The only short position that for me was available was the weekly level. We got the rejection. I got stopped out at break even at the beginning of the stream. I would prefer the VWAP for a long, but there is just very strong bullish CVD divergence here. You might not get that leg down, as there is a lot of shorts entering here, and you got extreme lower lows on the CVD and higher lows on the price action. So yeah, bulls have the chance here. We are very much bullish on lower time frames. Open interest is going crazy. There is some news that I want to talk about also by open interest, because open interest increases again. Liquidity is back. Have a glass of juice. CoinGlass sharing here the liquidity, the open interest, and open interest has gone bananas as the price is going up. When open interest goes up while the price is going up, it means it's a strong, healthy trend, and that has been going up like crazy, as you can see here. on this chart. Open interest as price is going up. It's going absolutely bananas, and that makes it a strong trend. It makes it a very, very strong trend to the upside. Guys, remember, if you are interested in trading, Bybit for me is the #1 crypto trading platform. You do have a $500 airdrop bonus. You can use that bonus, and all the profits that you make from that $500 you can keep, of course, and withdraw. Take advantage, guys. Bybit is the #1 for me trading platform. Check it out. However, it is a KYC platform. If you cannot trade on Bybit, bluffing is your best no KYC alternative, in my opinion, and you do get $10,000 of deposit bonus. More you deposit and trade, the more bonuses you are going to get airdropped, guys. Take advantage. No KYC, just with email and a password. You starting trading in minutes. They have proof of reserves, which is very important. An exchange with proof of reserves is muy importante. They do not do any fishy things with the deposits, just like other exchanges that have failed back in 2022, right? We know which ones. So very important to have proof of reserves, guys. So then you know that, they are playing the game well. I think psychology area right now, bearish here. We're just forming some very, we've just had a lot of shorts entering the market here. There's shorts entering here. They look at this on Bybit. They're going absolutely bananas with the shorts. They're going to get wiped out. They're possibly going to get wiped out. I don't like the idea of shorting this pump. No way in a million years with the bearish CVD divergence. Will it form a lower high and the price is just going to drop down? I don't like it. There is higher lows on the price action and lower lows on the CVD. There is shorts entering the market throughout the last 30 minutes and they're getting absorbed. This is a full recipe to claim the high again. So stay cautious, guys. This is very much understanding where is there a good short and where there's not, and where to be defensive. I shorted the weekly rejection. Got stopped out at break even. I don't like this consolidation with higher lows. If we should have rejected here, we should have taken the high and come down or double topped. I ain't gonna have any attempt of shorting here with bullish CVD divergence. It's just it's dangerous. I would rather see a sign of weakness. Remain patient. Sign of weakness. I would have an attempt in a short scalp from the Monday highs. Yeah, why not? Bring it on. It might just get a wick up, rejection, quick scalp, defensive with stop loss. It might get a 2-to-1, nice risk to reward trading setup. Get in, get out. Long positions, I would prefer the VWAP. I would prefer these higher lows locally to be swept. With the VWAP, I think it's a great level for a bounce. If we take a look at the latest pump from this higher low, where we back tested the daily level and got a massive bounce. Shout out to Aiden in the Legends trading community, getting into that exact long position. What an absolute legend. Hey, it's been quite a bit of time that I've been getting into these really nice exact level trading setup. But Aiden, I have to say, is absolutely on fire. Long setup from the exact levels where we got the bounce. One over here and one over here. The one from early this morning, 67,600. And then later on, this one right over here at 68,100 to backtest the daily level, Fibonacci level, looking for another extensive wave to the upside to get to 69K. And looking here at this possible bounce in this green box area. Absolute legend. The exact level where we got the bounce. What a legend. What a legend. What a legend. Hey, Aiden, absolutely crushing it. Coach in the Legends trading community providing the setups. 250 likes. Let's get to 300 in the next coming minutes, guys. I have to say, I'm a scaredy cat right now. I'm a very conservative. I like to have the rules that I apply. It can be boring sometimes, but with bullish CVDs and such a large consolidation at the weekly, I realize right now that there is even a slightly more chance that we could get the pop here to the upside. But I'm also realizing, hey, you know, this is the weekly level. It is the 0.88 Fibonacci. You know, it is a higher time frame level of resistance. I mean, come on. It is. Right? Weekly level, 0.88. It's the classic zone where it chops, and then it gets the major pullback in the next coming hours. However, I would rather, right? I would rather, instead of these local bullish CVD divergence, I realize the bullishness. It's like, okay, come on. This is bullish market structure throughout the last few hours. We got bullish CVD divergence. Do I really want to short the back test of the weekly? I just realized that the price could pop out and claim those highs based on bullish CVDs. Based on the large, if this consolidation is too large. When we hit a weekly level or a good Fibonacci level, I want it to be hit, maybe a back test, maybe a double top, and then just leave. Just leave, just go. Just get the selling pressure already. When you're consolidating with higher lows into the level, it's dangerous. It's just a full recipe to get the pop. So no trade. Screw you, Bitcoin. I had an attempt here on the short, got stopped out break even at the beginning of the live, in realizing this is there's nothing to be playing around with. There's nothing to play around. I realized the movement up to claim the high, and I just realized that it is a weekly level. It might just end up consolidating and rolling down. So if we do roll down with an intense move with high volume, I will consider this being the first initial wave of a larger corrective move, meaning that I am interested in getting into the next wave down. This is where I want to be in, but I need this first wave down. And of course, you will realize where the price bounces, right? If the price does bounce, then you got your fib levels. You will have a clear low wherever it bounces. This is just speculation. Wherever it bounces, just say here, it sweeps up this low and it bounces, or it might sweep this low and it bounces. Then the next move to the upside, I want decreasing volume, and I want a three-wave structure. And preferably, if we do get bearish CVDs, it's just going to be a good speculation for a wave 2 or either a wave B to then look for the next leg down to claim these lows. But we need the first initial wave, right? I need that first initial wave. Right now for me, this weekly is dead. It's no longer a level of interest just because of the consolidation, higher lows, and bullish CVD divergence that we're building into the level. So we need to move to the next setup. Andy, what is happening to alts? Alts seem to be dead. What is happening to altcoins, says Roman? Well, first of all, we got the Bitcoin dominance that is going through the roof. BTC dominance. People want to have their money in crypto in Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance getting a nice leg to the upside throughout the last couple of days, stretching the legs, right? Going from 59.3% to 59.7% now throughout the last hour. So it looks pretty good. The main reason why, a bit of a double toppy right now, I do think that dominance could extend a little bit higher. This is the main reason why that altcoins are just not performing. You're going to get some meme coins and a few, other different altcoins that are popping. Look at MAGA, right? Look at MAGA. MAGA did get a little bit of a move up today. Already getting a bit of a pullback, right? Make America great again. Who are you supporting, guys? Let me know in the comment section. Are you supporting Kamala Harris or are you supporting Donald Trump? Donald Trump is favorite by a lot right now. He's been gaining momentum for the last few weeks. Donald Trump for president. He is the character, in my opinion, to be the president. Let's see if he does. Trump. We got Jeffrey here saying Trump. Mod saying Trump. Andre Bear says Trump. Fernando says Trump. Kevin says neither. Well, I mean, yeah. Maybe we want other people, right, to be president. But for the moment, we have to choose in between Kamala and Donald Trump, right? And I say Trump. I prefer Donald Trump. But yeah, we got a lot of Trump here in the comment section. Donald all the way. I like him. I like he's a good character. He's like, you know, there's no fishy things about him, at least when he's open and he's, you know, talking to the people. And when he does his things, he's like, hey, I'm doing it, right? It's like, and yeah, Kamala Harris, Democrat, not too sure, guys, not too sure. Elliot, my brother. Green Grander says Putin. Trump for my wallet. Yeah, this is something that we all believe, right? We all believe that if Trump is elected, we will be seeing Bitcoin going to all-time high. We will be seeing the bull market continuing, right? I'm not sure if any of you guys did see when Donald Trump got shot on the ear. Just a few weeks in advance, or even a few months, some random dude, not random dude, he's actually pretty well known, was predicting that, you know, that the president, right, or the candidate, well, basically Donald Trump, was going to get shot in the ear. That was pretty crazy, right? That was like really crazy stuff. And what he said as well throughout that interview, that in 2025, we are going to be seeing a recession. It is going to happen. If this dude predicted that, you know, Donald Trump was going to get shot on the ear without getting killed, I'm going to say, I believe you, right? You say that there's a recession in 2025, and just a few months before Donald Trump, 𝗕𝗶𝗴𝗴𝗫, yeah, this is it. I'm not sure if it was a lie or not, but that video was posted a couple of months back before the shooting. So, and he was saying that also that in 2025 the recession will officially kick in. Man, I need to trust that guy. I need to trust that dude. He was right. So, anyway, not really, guys. Just some conspiracy here. I'm for Trump, but wouldn't say no fishy things about Trump. That's just me. Yeah. Link, please, Andy. Let's take a look at Chainlink, guys. You know that I am a strong believer in Chainlink project, okay? Oracle solutions for blockchain technology. Bring real-world data into the blockchain from many, many businesses, right? So this is going to pop. This is going to do well. Chainlink analysis will focus on the lower time frames right away. I'm going to be explaining a little bit of, you know, what I do see on the lower time frames. Higher time frame, it is very simple. I do see the bullish case scenario happening. Okay, I've been bullish on Chainlink since the bear market lows. I think most of you already know the analysis based on Elliott wave theory and the disbelief phase here when we take a look at the cheat sheet, right? When we take a look at the cheat sheet on the market cycles, well, eventually in, you know, January, February, March, we created the disbelief stage, right? Where you pump, right? And when you start getting the correction, which happened throughout the last few months, this is a sucker's rally. It is over. Altcoins are dead. They're not going to pump. Recession is going to come in then 2025. It ain't going to be looking too great, right? It's like the classic disbelief stage that we've had throughout the last few months. Big accumulation throughout 2022 and 2023, right? Well, part of mostly 2023. That is basically what happened in on Chainlink, right? From 2022 to 2023. Big accumulation. You get the classic disbelief rally, where you get a big major pullback, very scary and very disappointing, right, for all of those people that have been insanely bullish, right, throughout Q1 of this year. But it's just the timing. It's perfect. Everything points out that, hey, this is exactly what should be happening. This is exactly what should be happening. So I am bullish. There is a bearish case scenario, of course. A bearish case scenario would be actually coming back down to the lows here from 2022, which will only be the biggest and best buying opportunity. There is that bearish case scenario to get that third leg down here to the downside, sweeping up the lows from 2022. Of course, that is bearish. When you see it from this price level, it would be over a 50% dump, right? However, it would just bring you the best buying opportunity, right? If you want to buy low, well, you might get Chainlink below $5. I don't think this is going to happen. I don't think this is going to be the case. I've been buying Chainlink throughout, this area very aggressively. And if we do get that zone, then my Chainlink bags will be in the negative. I will have unrealized losses, but I will be buying more. If we do get down below $5, I would be buying Chainlink. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think we will maintain above those higher lows. And that's just purely based on the market structure. Just realizing the pump that we have had here very impulsively, and this being very corrective. This has been very, very corrective right over here. Now the question is, will we have another leg down in an A, B, C, D, E, right? Maybe sweep up the lows. Still very, very bullish on Chainlink. What I'm interested in here is taking a look at the timing from the low created in June of 2023 to the high created in March of 2024. And we are still very much not even passing the one-to-one extension from the bullish momentum that we had in between 23 and Q1 of 24. Not even crossing the one-to-one. The corrections are usually longer than the impulsive moves. We haven't even crossed the one-to-one. So the pump is larger than the corrective move. Yeah, this still has till December. So it might be rangy still, right? We might get Bitcoin breaking all-time high first of all. Altcoins will be looking dead. What's going on? Why aren't they pumping? Once we start crossing one-to-one extension, once we see Bitcoin breaking all-time high, we're going to start seeing fireworks on the altcoins, especially the good projects such as Chainlink. It's boring. It's just a matter of time, guys. Stay chilled. My bags are loaded. It's just a matter of time. Will we get that volatility to $7, $8? Will this happen? Well, we're just going to take a look at the lower time frames here on Chainlink. Let's just zoom in because, there's a couple of levels. The latest analysis that we did provide on Chainlink was sweeping up the lows right over here for a quick instant bounce. We did get the bounce, but came straight back down just in the last couple of days, right? So we did get that swing failure pattern from this level, liquidity grab, and now we've bounced from a daily level and a weekly level throughout the day. So we bounced from $10.70, right, where we do have that weekly and daily level. Nice little bounce, I have to say. It's around about what, 3-4%. Now it's coming back down to the zone. I have to keep it very clear. This is on the 4-hourly time frame. 4-hourly time frame. I would have to say, look, we sweep the lows, take them as scalps, guys. I am bullish higher time frame on Chainlink, okay? If we are looking for scalp trades, just like the one we provided a few days ago, when we were trading here in this area, right? We just basically got a movement up, then a movement down. This was last week. We were looking at this higher low for that liquidity grab. This was only a scalp. We moved up, moved back down, come up to the VWAP, take them as scalps. Just take them as scalps. Quick bounce. It actually got slightly above VWAP. Bit of a dead cat bounce. Take them as scalp longs, these SFPs. Eventually, we've hit the daily today, and we've got a significant bounce when we're sweeping up the highs. Look at this. If you hit an important level, which is in this case the daily and the weekly, it's actually a weekly level, right? When we go to the weekly level on Chainlink, we can see that weekly close and open right over there. Nice little bounce. However, these are scalps. Scalp longs, scalp shorts. Scalp longs, scalp shorts. We bounced from that daily, weekly level, and we claimed the lower highs here from yesterday. Rejection. That's a take profit. You just test the highs, you get out, and you possibly speculate on a short as well. You got an extremely tight stop loss. So now let's look. Look for the next scenario, right? This has happened already. Shut your mouth and go to the next trade. Well, the next trading setup, keeping it, in a nutshell, very simple, would be a sweep of this higher low over here. Just like this sweep of this higher low that was mentioned last week for a scalp setup, right? Look for the internal levels of resistance to get, profits. It would be sweeping up this low. Let me just go here on, ever so slightly to the higher time frame. Bitcoin is dumping. Bitcoin is dumping a little bit. Let's continue with Chainlink. It only dropped a couple of $100. Nothing too serious. Let's go right away here through the to Chainlink. Then we'll jump into Bitcoin, guys. But I would say 90% of the viewers want to focus on Bitcoin, okay? Not on the altcoins. But I did say that we'll be getting Chainlink ready here in the free Discord, okay? Because the people ask me, about altcoins, and we did a poll today in the free Discord, and the poll came out. Over 30% of people wanted the Chainlink analysis. If you want to join the free Discord, where there is a lot of active traders there, a lot of people active in the free Discord, you just need to click the first link down below and you can join the free Discord, where there's very much active people sharing charts, ideas, possible setups, guys. And you, as a trader, you want to be surrounded those kind of people, right? Where they're just looking at, different setups and scenarios. So diving back into Chainlink here, just keeping it simple, ready to set the alerts, is looking for this higher low right over here on the higher time frames from the 14th of October, just like this one, getting that quick liquidity grab and an instant bounce. We are downtrending, okay? So the short here would have been this lower high. That would have been the obvious one. Now we're rolling down. I don't want to jump into a short position as we're rolling down. I want to see liquidity grabs. If we grab liquidity from this low and we manage to get the price action back above in an instant, right? Just like we did right over here, right? From this low, very quick. This happens in less than an hour. Then eventually you would be interested in that long position, okay? Would be interested in that quick long position there. So set the alerts, and this would be the best quick long setup. I think it's probably with a 0.88 Fibonacci from this movement, right? Let's take a look. 0.88 is slightly below. What was interesting about this daily level bounce of today is that you hit the 7.8 Fibonacci from this leg to the upside that we've had throughout the last couple of weeks, right? Since the 10th of October. 0.78 fib with the daily and the weekly, instant bounce to claim the lower high. Really nice scalp setup. This happened throughout today. Throughout, very early this morning. It was the scalp long. Let's take a look at Bitcoin right away, because Bitcoin is getting a bit of dumpy momentum. Let's analyze the price of Bitcoin. Getting a bit of dumpy. Kind of successfully back tested here. I mean, this would have been acceptable for a short scalp. I didn't like it, but it did back test the weekly level. Back tested the weekly level and got back down. I would say this is a scalp for a take profit here. Scalp, take profit at this low. We're probably still continuing bullish CVD divergence. I prefer a long position at the VWAP. I have to be honest. VWAP is like a magnet, and we just almost at the VWAP. I mean, I was preferring this low for a liquidity grab, but maybe even this one right now is even closer to the VWAP. But I'm sure we're forming, still very strong bullish CVD divergence. Yeah, bullish CVD divergence are pretty intense. They are pretty intense right there. Still, from this pivot. Even from this pivot. Lots of shorts entering. We've got lower lows on the CVD. Not in the blue, not in the rest of exchanges, but yes on Bybit. I think that, for me, a best attempt would be a quick VWAP, maybe SFP from this level, and then get the bounce. Not easy short based on the bullish CVD divergence. I have to say, it did reject from the weekly and it back tested. We did have some pretty nice bullish CVDs from this pivot, so it wasn't playing in our favor. Let's go. Bitcoin is a scam, says Gallery. No, it is not. No, it is not. It's not a scam. Why would it be a scam? The fiat currency is a scam, right? You get inflation, massive inflation every year. So your fiat currency is devaluating. I want to see 9K, says Andrej Bear. I'm a 64K possible. Wow. You know, I would go level to level, guys. You know, is $64,000 possible? I'm going to say absolutely yes. Of course it is. Of course it is possible, right? There is several scenarios and patterns that do suggest us that we could be seeing $64,000 and even lower. We got the contracting diagonal idea here, right? Which is basically a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is very corrective momentum. Without a doubt, we could be going down there. Just looking at this movement here, this was very predictable. We predicted very nice moves here throughout the basically last week. Analyzing internally the impulsive move down here. As we lost structure, this structure, it was extremely highly predictable to basically look at a retracement here at the 382 50% fib from this move. But you know, looking at the higher time frame, we've got a 3-wave move here. We got another 3-wave move here. We got another 3-wave here. And right now what we're forming could also be a, you know, another 3-waver. You see, do ABC. I mean, it could be a flat. It could be a flat. Yeah, it could definitely be end up in a swing failure pattern from here. It could definitely end up in a swing failure pattern, rejection from the weekly, liquidity grab from these highs. We do have a harmonic pattern. It's not the most beautiful because the B point here just really went up a little bit too far. It did go a little bit too far, but it's extremely symmetrical based on the timing, right? I don't like this B point. It would have been nicer to be at the 618 or the 78 even. It just really extended a little bit too much, but I have to say it's extremely symmetrical, and we like the waves being symmetrical from this movement down to this movement up, and then to this movement down to this movement up. We will be crossing the 1-to-1 in the next 1 to 2 hours. So the symmetry of this is very, 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 very perfect. But the harmonic is not too beautiful, I have to say. Just purely based on this movement up. Because on a bat pattern, you don't really want to extend here above the 7-8, right? When we take a look at harmonics, but this is classic. Harmonics are, what happens with harmonics is you always claim that high right there and you reject from it, right? So it's basically a liquidity grab from the lower high. In the case of a bearish one, right? So you kind of sweep up the highs and then you retrace back down. And when you take a look at the bat pattern, right, then you're looking at a movement down. That would be a bearish one. This would be a bullish one. You're looking for a bounce. But yeah, there's a situation with the B point. It's really, really overextended. But the 0.88 is there. You got a bit of a range here from the B point, from X to B. It's above the 0.78 Fibonacci, which is not the preferred scenario when we do take a look at the bat pattern here. But it's very symmetrical. Liquidity, classic liquidity grab from the highs. It will be interesting to see the wave here. If we do get a wave down in the next coming hours, but I mean a proper wave down. If we do get an intense move down with some pretty nice volume, the bounce is going to be relatively interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting to look for a speculative third wave or a C wave. But hey, for the moment, momentum is still bullish. You know, when Bitcoin is not dumping, it's still with higher low structure. Doge is dumping. Yeah, altcoins are bleeding, guys, because Bitcoin dominance is pumping quite aggressively throughout today. Bitcoin dominance wants to smash out from the highs created here from Saturday. Yeah, Bitcoin dominance has been really on the run here throughout the last few days, or even last few weeks and months. This is good, guys. This is good for altcoins to dump and get cheaper altcoins. Just like I explained, what happens before altcoins get a massive season and the Bitcoin dominance dumps, right? You get that massive move to the upside, and this could happen throughout the next coming weeks, couple of months, where you might see the dominance even extending, stretching its legs to 65%, kind of breaking up the ascending channel, going a little bit parabolic. But that is the moment. That is the moment that you want to really have a really good bag of altcoins, guys. It's going to happen. It is going to happen. Everything is pointing out that we are very much on time. We could see many months still of altcoins really not doing anything, right? Give or take 2, 3, 4 months. We could still see a few more months of altcoins just not doing much. Of course, you're going to see all of the different meme coins, having their pumps of 20, 30%, 40%. That is normal. But the Bitcoin dominance is we need to see that ending stage where it just gets that blow off top and it pumps in a matter of a couple of weeks like crazy, which we could be entering that move now. We're basically in the beginning stages of that nice move to the upside, where it's going to peak out at some point, and then you're going to start seeing it dropping down, and you're going to see a lot of speculation on altcoins. It's going to happen. Whether that is in December or it's in February, it's going to happen at some point, and we're going to see something like this. So, I mean, you want to really, really, really have some good altcoin projects as we're moving up. This is the time. This is the time as we get the Bitcoin dominance up. And I know you might not believe it, guys. You will only believe it when you see it and it's happening, okay? But this is why we do the analysis. We look at the previous cycles. We understand what happens. Bitcoin is number one. Bitcoin needs to be the one that breaks all-time high, and the altcoins not doing absolutely anything. It's what needs to happen. It's what's happened before, so it's nothing out of normal. Altcoins look dead, and Bitcoin's smashing through all-time high. What's going on? Well, it's the first leader, right? It's the leader of the market. So it's something that 3 best altcoins. Wow, that's a very good question. I have to say, for me, one of the best 3 altcoins would be Chainlink. Even though the risk to reward might not be too great from this point, but I would say in between a 5 to 10x is very realistic, and I think is going to happen in the next 6-12 months. That is my point of view. That it's not been the best, of course, for gains. There's many other ones that you can risk to look for a 20x or a 30x potential, but then you need to go down the rabbit hole, right? And you need to really look for those low cap ones. For example, I got Unibright. This is one that I'm betting my ass off to look for this is a German cryptocurrency. It's interoperability for companies, helping them use blockchain technology with their businesses. And the token that's got all of the unlock out, it has utility, all right? It's a 5 million market cap. Will this one revive this previous all-time high? They're very much working. Their marketing is crap, I have to say. They are not good at marketing. But they're very much building up the product and getting partnerships. And this previous all-time high was almost $4. I am betting on this one. You know, I very much understand that they are still working out, working. Then you got the newer AI. This one's, a lot of people say, don't buy altcoins from the previous cycle. Well, these ones are building up. This one is a hype cycle. They've been building throughout the bear market. I believe in this project. Will it end up playing good or not? Well, that is a risk that I am willing to take. And I think it's very cheap levels. Of course, you want to get into new AI cryptos, right? 𝗬𝗨 network, for example. This one was actually in the previous bull run. Or get into meme coins, Get into some meme coins. Meme coins or new AI crypto projects. Infrastructure. Artificial intelligence. AI. AI for me has been a little bit of a kind of a bubble situation. Just like metaverse. I was very much aware of metaverse being a bubble in crypto, and it had the worst crash ever. Yeah, AI is going to develop and continue throughout the next coming years, but there is, very, very risky coins as well. But, just do your research on those cryptocurrencies and AI, because Nia Protocol, great project. I do see a realistic 5 to 10x on Nia Protocol. Internet computer. These are high cap coins though. I wouldn't say they're going to do more than a 10x. If this 10x's, then wow, make sure to tap your back and take the profits. But I wouldn't expect much more than a 5, 10x. The Graph GRT as well. Very good project. 5, 10x, same scenario. Will it do over a 15, 20x? This is just really, you never know. But they are good projects, and that you would expect a nice risk to reward. GRT, sir, we just tapped that low right there. Ever so slightly with the VWAP. Yeah, that weekly level. Let's take a look at CVD here. And let's take a look at Delta, because are they... Lots of shorts entering here as well. Bullish CVD divergence is still building up. You do have some bullish CVDs building up still here. I think we need to give the bulls a chance. What's the stock market doing? I think we didn't have any news today. Let me double check the news. Tuesday at 6 p.m. Jolt's Jobs opening. Okay, so there's no real big news today. GRT, sir. Gallery. Yes, GRT. Very, very good project. Sir, what's the 5 best GameFi projects you think? 5 best GameFi projects. Whew. I know Beam. Gala is good. You might think Gala, no. I know there was some issues with the team of Gala, but it's still one of the biggest gaming projects. I would say Beam as well is very good. Then some lower cap coins. Big Time. Look, Big Time got a horrendous crash throughout the last few months, but it did get a pretty nice bounce. I think it's correcting back down. It is an active game. Basically, Big Time got a pretty nice bounce. I wouldn't say it's one of the best games, but it is a low cap. It is an active game. It does have its community. Mid low cap, 186 million market capitalization. I wouldn't say it's the best GameFi. I would say Beam without a doubt is one of them. Immutable X. But these are high caps eventually. I wouldn't expect a 20, 30x on this, but yes, a realistic 5 to 10x. When are the games coming out? Yeah, also we do have Star Atlas. right? That supposedly was, or is still, I'm not sure if there's a bigger game development here. 𝗬𝗏𝗏, insane game on Solana blockchain. I'm really not sure how, I mean, I'm not following this at all eventually, but this one's from the previous cycle. We very much understood from the previous cycle that this game is going to take years to come out and develop. But, you know, hey, I'm really not following the development. I don't know when the game is going to actually launch. You know, I don't know if I know there's some like better stages of the game launched on 𝗬𝗏𝗏, but this is like you doing the research, seeing how active they are on Twitter and what's their next developments. But yeah, I mean, just no research on this, me whatsoever. Pixel, can you do big time is small time? Big time is small time. Noobs longed the top again. Yeah, this was not a level to get into a long position. You know, you got the weekly level. It was not easy. Not easy. Very choppy. I really like the quick rejections. I mean, you had a chance for the swing traders. You know, you would consider this, because I basically look for scalps, day trade scalps, and you know, scalps and day trades basically. But a swing trader that realizes that this is, you know, weekly level, they're potentially looking at an entry point here and a stop loss at the highs, but you would be looking for a much larger pullback in the next coming days. It's a higher time frame resistance. It is the weekly. It is the 0.88. You know, with me, for me as a day trader, with all of that choppiness, I just did not like it. I did have an attempt already and got stopped out at break even at the beginning of the stream, because if we hit such an important level, I don't want it dancing around here. It's just I don't want it. I either want it top and then down, or either hit it and a double top and then down. And I would have a short attempt here, and I would have a short attempt here on the rejection. I don't want, you know, not this. This on a level is like, yeah, I'm just not trading it. Not trading it. Saga coin analysis. Saga coin analysis. What is Saga coin? Saga coin. There's a lot of sagas here. There's a lot of sagas. Which saga are you talking about? Is it this one? It might be this one. Yeah, well, we ain't going to do analysis on these altcoins. We ain't going to do analysis on these altcoins. We got VWAP providing a little bit of that support. You know, this could get that bounce. This could get that bounce. With the golden pocket. It's a technical. Oh no, golden with the 7/8 would have been nice to sweep that low. Actually, would have been even a bit nicer to sweep that low. There is still bullish CVD divergence, so I mean it does make sense to get a nice bounce here on the price. So it's an acceptable long trade. The VWAP, as mentioned, would have been nice to sweep up this low over here for that SFP. Would have been a bit better for the long. What if it breaks below the VWAP? Then what's your play? Yeah, if we just after this bounce, you know, it would be interesting if it does bounce nicely. If it does bounce nicely, I would really consider another kind of a back test over this zone. This is classic because when you short a weekly level, the price really likes to come up and back test the level. No joke. It happens many times. You hit the level, you reject, you try and break it, then you come back down, you back test it once, you get a larger move down, then you back test it again, and then the price leaves, right? So I would be relatively interested in the possibility of the price, you know, back testing this level. We just got the tap of the low right now. We just did get the tap of the low. Would have an extremely tight stop loss. I wouldn't go too crazy. If it bounces here, it needs to start bouncing now. If it doesn't, then down we go. If it bounces, it needs to start bouncing right now. So yeah, about this move, if we were to come up here to the weekly and we form bearish CVD divergence, it needs to push up right now. If it just, you know, just swept that low quickly, yeah, then stopped out now. Stopped out. As a scalp, right? As a scalp. Yeah, breaking down. Breaking down from the VWAP. Yeah, I'm just really not that interested in the internal levels that they are here. That could have been the wick. That could have been the wick right over here. Hang on a second. Why did we didn't hit the low? Was this the wick that actually? This was the wick. This was the wick right there. I mean, if it does, yeah. It's just moving down. What is the S&P doing? Let's take a look at the S&P 500. Is the S&P getting a little bit of a dumpy action? S&P dumping a little bit. Nothing too severe. Yeah, it needs to bounce now. If VWAP doesn't hold, I wouldn't go too crazy here. It is getting a slight reaction. Are there any shorts entering here quite aggressively? Yeah, I mean, it's without a doubt a good attempt here, legends. It's a good attempt long. VWAP, you still have bullish CVD divergence. You've swept this low over here. You hit the 7/8 Fibonacci. It's just it's the level. It's the level to get a little bit of a bounce of a few $100s. I wouldn't go too crazy, as in we're going to come back up to the highs. Swept the low, hit the 7/8. VWAP wants to hold. Small reaction. It needs to bounce quick. Yeah, it needs to bounce now. If it doesn't bounce, I would, wouldn't be adding to position or any of that nonsense, guys. This it needs to bounce right now. If it doesn't, it's just losing the momentum. So yeah. Yeah, it just seems like it doesn't want to. It doesn't want to. It doesn't want to. What would be interesting is, yeah, just about hit the 1-to-1. It needs to bounce. It needs to bounce. It needs to bounce now. Quickly. Without losing that wick low. You got a 1-to-1 right there. You got the sweep of the lows. I wouldn't say it would be a successful loss of the VWAP. It's just getting choppiness beneath the VWAP. I would say it's a local bouncing level. I wouldn't go too crazy with this bounce. I wouldn't say this is going to bounce all the way up to the highs here. I would be targeting the 50% fib, golden pocket, as a TP1. Yeah, and if we were to lose the VWAP, right, just say that we get the bounce and then the VWAP is lost. What is the next level to the downside? Yeah, I mean, this is the bouncing level. It needs to it should bounce a few $100 from here. If we do lose the VWAP, what are the next big major levels? Let's take a look here at daily, weekly, naked point of controls. There is that daily that did provide the back test today. Today we got the resistance yesterday, the back test today. We don't have any. Let's take a look at today's levels, basically previous day value levels on the 30-minute time frame. Yeah, it needs to get a bit of a bounce here. I think it will manage to bounce. Maybe not much, but it's just swept that low VWAP. If we were to break down from the VWAP, the question is right now, today we've got this nice bounce from the daily. Could we sweep up that daily, sweep up that higher low, and get supported from this level? Oh my goodness, I mean, this movement up that we've had throughout the weekend is really getting on my nerves. You know, this right over here, and then this one right over here, and now this one right over here. It's just really a move that is just getting me on my nerves. You know, I don't see any clear micro counts here on, you know, regarding Elliott wave theory. It's more clear to look at this, right, as a harmonic pattern and just sweeping up these highs and basically getting the rejection from the weekly in the end. Regarding a scalp, I mean, you don't want to be the last guys long in a level, right? When you basically have swept the highs from last week, you have been trending very nicely throughout the last few days, very nice uptrend, and sweeping up the highs. It's like, guys, this has been a higher time frame sweep. So you really want to be cautious and long in here, because this is the moment that the price just might get some steep dips, right? You don't want to be the guy that's long in the retracement, right? This is extremely bullish. We're going to, you know, and then you start getting the major dips. And that is especially when you swept up the highs from last week, which has basically happened today. When you sweep a higher time frame high, it's like, yeah, do we want to really continue being extremely bullish on these pullbacks? I mean, without a doubt, you need to attempt the scalp longs, okay? Without a doubt, there is very good levels of confluence that you can attempt those scalp longs, and it might be the next higher low, and you might be going to the highs again, right? It might continue the momentum. So you need to know exactly which are the best levels. We had this one right over here. It is getting a reaction from the VWAP and that higher low right there. So, you know, it was the bouncing level. You know, if it had to bounce, it had to bounce from here after creating that quick wick to the downside, hitting the 7/8 fib from this latest move up. This could move up a few $100. I would consider it as a scalp. And if we lose the VWAP and we lose basically these lows, your next level is this one, right? Where we have that daily. It has been providing resistance, support. It could be a sweep of that low for an instant bounce, all the way up to the next level of resistance, which would be the VWAP and this low over here. I would just really like go level to level. I wouldn't go too crazy as in this is the low, we're going to go up to the highs, or, you know, it's just level to level. This would be a long into a take profit. If it does manage to break through and go higher, then, you know, you want to maintain some of that trade open with your stop loss being defensive. But your best chance here would be, apart from this one, right? This was the acceptable scalp long, VWAP sweep of the low. But if, you know, we're just talking about, you know, what would be the next trade, right? This is one trade already. Well, what would be the next one if we do break down? Well, we a sweep of this higher low, proven level of resistance to flip as support, and it would be a liquidity grab. If we take a look at fib from this low of this momentum, yeah, the golden pocket is there. I like this low. The golden pocket is there, and you're sweeping that higher low. Would be looking for a nice little scalp long. Would be a nice interesting move all the way down to the support resistance flip. That's an acceptable long position if VWAP were to be lost here in the next coming hours. A quick scalp long. Very choppy with this low, with the 7/8. I would be interested in the price. If the price shoots up right now in the next coming 1 to 2 hours, I would be speculating on, there's going to be a lot of late shorters, right? There's a lot of late shorters always that enter the market when the price does drop finally, right? So the price does drop finally, and you get the late shorters entering. That's when you get that, kind of a little bit of a short squeeze and a possible back test. I would consider a back test. I would really consider a back test. This is also something similar that happened to me on a trade last week that, well, it was basically from a live stream that we provided last week as well, where we were looking at the resistance area of 7/8 Fibonacci, and there was a naked, I think there was a naked point of control, but it was basically this short right there. I'm not sure if any of you guys, maybe the new subscribers obviously will not remember, but it was a short rejection that we mentioned last week, right over here on Friday. I think it was the Thursday live stream. Rejection from this level. And 7/8 Fibonacci, I think there was a daily level or a naked point of control. We were analyzing this wave here, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and getting the rejection from 68,600. That's from Thursday's live stream. What happened here? I entered the short at night as a swing trade, right? I'm like, I don't want to miss this. We got the pump up, we rejected, and the position was small. So I entered the trade and had stop loss at the high. In going to bed, I don't usually trade and leave us, but it was there, right? We got the rejection. If I get stopped out, it gets stopped out. The next day was in profits. And what we did have is a major move back up to retest that, 7/8. And I think we had a naked point of control. I can't remember now, but it was another level in confluence with that zone. I did not protect position, and I usually do protect position a lot of the times. So sometimes you just need to leave your stop loss in place. And I did manage to profit from this move on the live stream on Friday. I actually added to the position, realizing the rejection. And sometimes you just need to leave your stop loss in where it needs to be. So in this case, the main reason why I'm pulling this out here, guys, is just to fast forward on this and say, okay, we're bouncing right now from the VWAP, from this low. It's getting a little bit of a bounce. There is late shorters into the market. There is always late shorters, and what you get with this when you're forming bullish CVDs is you get the bounce and you come back up from the level that you have been planning for to get into the short, which would be the weekly level, right? So if we were to get up to the weekly level, I would still consider, right, the short position. I would still consider the short position, especially if you form bearish CVD divergence, which doesn't look like it's going to happen. There's more shorts entering the market throughout the last hour. You've got lower lows on the CVD, higher lows on price action. I think it's not going to manage to form higher highs on the CVD. It does look unlikely. It looks unlikely. It would be nice, but I would still consider, if it does sweep up those lower highs here, I would have to consider it, because it's it might be a back test of the weekly coming up. It's just very, very classic, right? You get a bunch of shorts realizing the rejection, entering late, and then you get the 𝗕𝗶𝗴𝗫 here above these lower highs weekly. 78618, preferably get bearish CVDs, because it might just pop through back to the highs. So, you know, the next, I would be interested, next level of interest here, if it does come up there, you know, I would be looking at a sweep of these lower highs. That would be my levels to actually look at the possible rejection for my stop loss, either this one or this one. Yeah, basically like this one as well. You hit it, you get above it, entry, stop loss. You're looking for that bounce of a few $100, just like trade level to level here. Failed breakout from that VWAP. We do still have the bullish CVDs from this pivot, so you need to give the bulls a little chance. I mean, it only bounced a couple of $100. Sometimes it's not worth it to take profit just a couple of $100, but I would extend it here. I would say, you know, it does have a chance to get to the 61878. That would be the zone where I would say, you know, that is, you start collecting some profits if you did long here from this sweep of the low and the VWAP, right? It was very choppy, but it, you know, we just got that final wick beneath this low, which is getting the bounce right now. It would make sense to get the momentum up here. Told you we going down. Yes, we did reject from that weekly pretty successfully, but we are at the moment we are getting a little bit of a bounce, just a few $100. Please draw a flag pattern. Please draw a flag pattern. Do you mean from here, like a descending? Yeah, we're going to start hitting that resistance as well, like a wedgie structure. The market goes where there is liquidity. You goddamn right. That is very true. We did have that bunch of liquidity that was sitting here at basically the 69,200, 300. We did hit 69,270 at least on Bybit. We did get a little bit of a sweep of liquidity. There is still some liquidity up there, I have to say. There is still a bit of liquidity still. 69.3, 69.4. The market goes where there's liquidity, and apparently, unfortunately, we do have liquidity up and down. So trading just based on liquidity is very, very complex, because especially when you have the same amount of liquidity above you and the same amount of liquidity below you, it's like, you know, which one will be hit first? You would want to think that the one nearer you is going to be hit. So no, if you zoom out, you will see that it has broken out from the flag pattern and it's coming back down to retest as support. Zoom out on what flag pattern? Are you talking about the higher time frame? This the descending broadening wedge? Let me know if it's this one right over here. Zoom out. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if you're talking about this flag. You need to give me a little bit more detail. And this is descending broadening wedge, or is it on the 4-hourly time frame? Are you basically talking about this right over here? I don't see much of a flag right there. Is it on the lower time frames? Anyway, I'm just reading the comment and obviously wanting to draw what you want me to draw, okay? Just so you can, so we see what retest are you talking about. Dot is looking very good for a long position, says HBBBA. Bitcoin getting the bounce here pretty nicely from that VWAP, from the sweep of the lows. Got a little bit choppy and disturbing, but it ended up with a little wick right there. Now getting the bounce. I think it could come up to the 61878. If you did long that VWAP sweep of this low, 7/8 Fibonacci, I think, you know, now it would be the moment to be a little bit defensive. 7/8 is the one that got the bounce with the sweep of the low. If you did enter that trade with the fake out of the VWAP, right? VWAP was just maintaining ground here. I would be defensive with a stop loss. But I would say it could stretch its legs a little bit more, potentially to golden pocket. Golden pocket is always a good take profit when you're in a, you know, mini local downtrend. Would be defensive. Would be defensive with stop if you did enter that long position. We want to protect capital overall, which is the most important thing. It's the most important thing. The peak was October 20. The peak was oh, okay. Is that what time frame? Let's take a look at this. No, not that far back. Okay. Phew, this is challenging when you try and do a pattern or, you know, or a flag or whatever here with messages in the comment section. 20th of October was the high. Okay, 20th of October was the high. The 21st, I would say, right? So yeah, I think you're talking about this descending. Yeah, descending trend line from here. Then it's coming down to retest this level. It could. I have to say, not my favorite kind of trading scenario, but if we do zoom in, I mean, if we were to break down from VWAP, the next scalp long, I mean, the shorts, you had the weekly level, right? I think it's more of a swing trade scenario, because for me as a scalp, it was very difficult. I got chopped out at break even. I wanted to see a fast rejection, but we got a lot of choppiness here from that weekly level. But it's a swing short zone, small stop loss, low leverage, and you're basically looking for a larger pullback in the coming days. I mean, for all of those swing traders, you basically get the big rejection, stop at the highs, and just chill and look for a major pullback in the next coming days, possibly. But regarding that lower high resistance trend line that you said, October 11th is the lower high. October 11th is the lower high or the higher low? October 11th. Oh my goodness, I'm going absolutely nuts. You saying that October the 11th. October the 11th is the lower high. Right, yeah, so hang on a second. You are saying my position is protected. Thank you, legend, says Aditya, my brother. Much love to you. Yeah, we're not doing this. We're not doing this because this is extremely confusing. We ain't going to do it. Join the Discord. Join the free Discord and share the charts, and we'll, you know, analyze right there in the free Discord. You can join the free Discord with the first link down below. This is absolutely crazy going through. The high was in October, the low was in November, right? Because you said also the peak was in October 2020. Yeah, okay, so we got this peak. I mean, October 20. And, you know, there is the peak. There's a peak here in October 21. The 21st of October. There's no peak on October 20. It's still... Yeah. We cannot do that. I'm sorry. So, yeah. We don't have harmonic pattern on the daily time frame forming since the 29th of July to nowadays. Boo! So, let's take a look at that. Yeah, this is no... I would say that it's looking ugly, this for our harmonic pattern. You know, we did have this one right over here, bit of a in between a 𝗬𝗏𝘅 and more of a 𝗬𝗏𝘅, because it basically peaked out at the 7.8, more like the 0.8 Fibonacci, and it did pull back down to around about 50%. But yeah, basically this one as a harmonic, not really. I mean, the only harmonic here that would be possible from this point, I mean, it surpassed the 0.88 Fibonacci, so the only harmonic here possible, and it's overextended. I think it's overextended in timing as well. It's overextended in timing. Take a look at the timing here from this to the yeah, it's a bit overextended. You would really want harmonic in between the 1-to-1 and the 1.618. Now it's crossing the 3.618. Very, very extensive already in timing for this to be the wave D. So yeah, it's surpassing the time. 2 hours later and only 330 likes. Random epic. Yeah, we haven't, you know, there's only been a few levels, a few scalps here internally. The waves are very, very disturbing. For me, for me personally, it was a difficult short at the weekly, as you know, looking at a scalp short. But you would have to trade this as a swing trade. You know, I think there's no other option here. I think this is a swing short level, and it's no level to get into short scalps managing risk very well. You just need to realize that your stop loss could be this high, or at least a high from this wick to the upside, and just take it as a swing possible short. We've swept up the highs from last week. Very dodgy. It's not the best looking harmonic pattern based on this movement, based on this move to the upside. But yeah, it's liquidity grab from the highs of last week. Rejection. I think this would have been taken as a swing short. The rejection of the weekly. I was looking for a scalp, got stopped out break even, so overall did not get hurt on that short scenario. A bit too volatile. And now it looks like it wants to break down. Very choppy to the downside. I think the best level that I would say here would be this one, where we do have that old daily level that did got a beautiful bounce today. Shout out to Aiden. Shout out to Aiden in the Legends trading community. 1 hour vector candles all the way to $67,000. Well, that has to be bearish. That has to be bearish. On 10 to 21 October as the third wave and not the fifth wave. Thank you for the content. Why you consider the wave from the 10th to the 21st? Wow, we need to take a look at this comment. Whew. Why do I consider the wave? Bulls, get some balls. Yeah, bulls need a bounce from this VWAP. Come on, bulls, you can do it. Right, Mark says, why you consider the wave from the 10th to the 21st. Okay, yeah, right over here. A wave 3, a third wave, and not a fifth wave. Thank you for your content. Yeah, I do. You can consider it as a wave 5. I mean, I think you are talking about this movement, right? Why do I consider this wave from the 10th to the 21st a fifth wave? No, a third wave and not a fifth. No, I'm actually considering it as a fifth wave. I do consider this as a fifth wave. This is the the contracting diagonal that we've been talking about for many weeks now, which I do see this potentially being the fifth, especially because of the nature of a 3 wave. But there is only one thing, of course, here about, you know, maybe this has been a much larger complex structure, and this has been a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, and this has been wave 4 right there. You're still forming a higher low. So, you know, it could be the scenario. If you take out this high, you know, you could actually technically count this as 5 wave moves up from this pivot low. Especially because you did hold the 50% Fibonacci from this pivot low to the pivot high. So it could be. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I'm considering this scenario. I am considering this scenario. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a contracting diagonal. I think it's very much a possibility. BTC dumping. It's dumping. It came back down to retest the lows, retest the VWAP. Not doing much. Poll to 0. The poll right now, we have 1,000 votes on the poll. Make sure to destroy the like button, legends. Make sure to smash up the like button. We got 1,000 votes. Today has been very difficult for me personally. I haven't got into the zone today very much on Bitcoin. I know Aiden and 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗽 has gotten very much into the zone and the momentum today, which is basically a long position from here, a long position from here. Of course, coaches absolutely ripping it in the community. Beautiful long here from 67,600 early this morning. Also a long position from the back test of the daily at 68,200. In the zone, knowing exactly where the prices are going to get the bounces. I mean, now we're at VWAP, we're at the lows. We should get a bounce here, even though the price is getting a little bit choppiness here. But it should get a bounce. Should get a bounce. Anyway, counting waves do not make much sense. Just trading price action, says 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗽. Yeah, counting waves right now is getting very complex. We you know, especially throughout this movement. I mean, this is either extremely bullish because you have multiple 1-2s, 1-2s. You're just in the building of a massive breakout, because it's getting very disturbing throughout the last few days. Last week was very nice. I had a great trading week last week. Very much predicting the next waves here, wave 4, wave 5. You know, looking for a short, looking for a scalp long. Also provided a short here on YouTube, this short position. However, you know, I did not trade this. This happened at 1 o'clock in the morning. I did not short from here, also because it was 3 o'clock in the morning. But we were talking about that short position here at 69,500 throughout the previous week. And yeah, the momentum, very, you know, it was much better to predict the waves. Good rejection here from last Friday. You know, waves here were much better, but then this is where it got a bit disturbing with this price action. Now it's like, yeah, you know, what the heck is going on? Because you got a 3-wave correction move right over here, and you got a 3-wave corrective move right over here. So it's like, damn you, Bitcoin. You're not impulsive to the downside. You're not impulsive to the upside. So it means you're just going to have a volatility fest here in this range throughout the next coming days. So even though, yeah, the price breaking out from here, there is a situation that I don't see. I have to say, I just don't see this impulsive. This is the only thing that's concerning for me to believe that, okay, what if this is, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, and, you know, we're just building up here, a massive breakout to the upside. This makes my eyes bleed. This movement to the upside makes my eyes bleed right over here. This 3-wave move to the upside is just, if it would have had a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Or, you know, at least you could count 5-wave move up here, right? And then a corrective move. Then it would be much, much nicer. But, so yeah. Just 100x long and enjoy your life. We're gonna fly, says 4base. I'm not too sure about 100x long. I'm not too sure. Stay cautious, guys, with high leverage. Be very, very technical with your trading setups. Have a plan, because just 100x and enjoy life. Eventually not. I know you're joking. So yeah, anyway, very disturbing with the analysis here. I think we just can trade level to level, you know, try and obviously jump into the momentum, just like they have been providing, such as Aiden and 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽, absolutely crushing it. You know, the last 24 to 48 hours, I did talk about a rejection here from this daily level on a quick update in the Legends community yesterday. Basically just daily and a rejection of a few $100. Very, very nice. But today was only looking at the possible rejection from the weekly, which has done, but it's just been very choppy. But Aiden and 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽, long here, following the momentum. And just like, I mean, also the today is long here as well. It's got choppy, but this is the thing, right? If you are defensive, the long setup that has been provided here on the stream, right? VWAP, sweep up the lows. If your stop loss is here, then you did not get stopped out with this movement down. But if you are defensive, you would have got stopped out, you know, close to break even, and the price maybe is bouncing now to higher levels. This is the thing about having a scalping, very technical level, where, and if you want to be defensive, and this happens to me a lot of the time, sometimes you just need to leave your stop loss out of the invalidation, because sometimes the price just comes up to stop you out at break even and then leaves without you. And this is why I'm concerning the possibility of coming back up to the weekly, because all of those people that shorted either the weekly rejection or the back test, it happens a lot of times where you just get the price coming back up, retesting the weekly, and then leaving without you, right back. You know, you're just basically putting your stop loss at break even, and the price comes up and stops you out and then leaves without you. It just for me, it happens a lot. You know, sometimes I just need to be not as defensive with your stop losses. Sometimes you just need to have your stop loss where it needs to be, right? Basically at the invalidation level. In this case, you had the sweep of the lows, you had the 7/8 Fibonacci, you had the VWAP providing, you know, that support, fake out, long position, stop loss. If you protect after this bounce, you know, stops you out and leaves without you. You know, so it does happen a lot of the time. So sometimes we don't need to be that defensive. Sometimes you just don't need to be that defensive. So I would be considering this scenario, getting the bounce. If, you know, anybody's still in that long position, did not move, stop loss. 618 to the 7/8, sweep of these highs. I think that could be the case. That could be happening. Let's see if we do get a huge amount of longs entering into the market, which I don't think is good. Yeah, I don't think we're going to form bearish CVDs, to be honest. We're very far away in forming higher highs on the CVD. It's just not going to happen by the looks of things. So, interesting. If we do manage to get up there, it's either 618 or 78, one of the two. But the market is still very much bullish. You know, momentum is bullish. This would be the area of interest for me. The weekly level, basically, right? Kind of a back test of the weekly level. Get back above it. Hit the level. Sweep up these lower highs. This is the classic moment where a lot of people shorting here this range, they are being defensive, and you're getting late shorters, you're getting bullish CVDs, and you get the price coming up to this zone. It's going to be interesting. It would be nice to see bearish CVD divergence in that area. It would be nice to see that. Yeah, next levels for a scalp and a setup would be this low with the daily sweep 618 golden pocket from the low of today to the highs. Would be the level golden pocket daily 618. These higher lows would be the scalp long, and also this weekly back test. Not going to be easy, especially if we do not see any bearish CVD divergence. What kind of Fibonacci you pull? Fibonacci retracement. Always missing that 1% supply. I think market makers dumping in on purpose. I dropped my flag pattern on Discord, says Forrest. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah, we can discuss that in Discord. There's a great community there that shares the different scenarios and patterns. So yeah, I'm happy to see you around on Discord, and we can analyze the different levels and different scenarios. So yeah. Legends, let's take a look at a little bit of news. Quick reminder for those traders. For me, Bybit is the #1 crypto trading platform. It is the best out there without a doubt. You did get a $500 airdrop. Remember, with the link down below, if you sign up, $500 airdrop, extremely easy to claim, and you can use that airdrop and withdraw the profits that you make with that airdrop, guys. Check it out. If not, you got bluffing, that you get that $10,000 deposit bonus. No KYC platform. The more you trade, the more airdrops you're going to get, okay, to add to your capital. No KYC, just with an email and a password. You can start trading in minutes, guys. Some very interesting news regarding the charts, right? And looking for these internal scalping levels, right? Scalp here, scalp here. This is a possible scalp short. We need to, looking at the waves and the scenarios. Let's talk about some news right away. Hong Kong to approve more Bitcoin and crypto exchanges this year, guys. Hong Kong, very crypto friendly in the game. This is bullish long term, of course. That gives a little bit of steam for the bull run, right? A little bit more steam for that bull run continuation. Tether now owns 82,454 Bitcoin, worth $5.5 billion, guys. Tether does own quite a bit of a chunk of Bitcoin, and that is good, obviously. So that means that they have kind of reserves, right? There's always been Tether FUD in the past. Breaking news, we have Metaplanet that surpasses 1,000 Bitcoin that they have accumulated, basically. Additional 156 Bitcoin today. They surpassed 1,000 Bitcoin. This is only one Japanese company that owns already 1,000 Bitcoin and growing. Bitcoin mining becomes legal in Russia starting from November the 1st. Absolutely great for adoption, without a doubt. Russia wanting to lead also with the mining. We obviously have US and China leading the mining industry, but Russia could definitely pick up in the next 1 to 2 years, as it is going to be legal there to mine. ETF holdings are breaking out before Bitcoin price. This is a very curious chart to understand that, Bitcoin is bullish no matter what on higher time frame. The ETFs, okay, inflows have, right, the holdings basically have surpassed the peak from March of 2024, March of this year. So it's kind of broken all-time highs from ETF holdings. Bitcoin hasn't just yet. So it's kind of very correlated. So this is, this tells you one thing, we're very likely going to break those all-time highs in November potentially. We did have a poll here throughout the stream, over 1,000 votes on the poll. Bitcoin all-time high for November, 75% of people say yes. Now is when we have the psychology You know, as most of the people are bullish and most of the people do see all-time highs in November, will we potentially not see all-time high, right? Too many people bullish. We do have the Fear and Greed Index, which is at greed as well. I am from Hong Kong. Incredible Jackman. Hey, my man. Much love to you. Great news from Hong Kong. More exchanges on the way. More exchanges on the way. So what are the news? What are the charts? That, you know, there's some really higher, good, not really curious higher time frame. Most traders and investors will not see this, still believing in a fake out. If you research this consolidation pattern, megaphone falling wedge, right? Broadening wedge in this case. Yeah, I mean, if you just go with the classic descending broadening wedge, or even the cup and handle, right, from the higher time frame, you know, everything points out that we are going to get that smash out. Guys, there is really not much more to add. If you did get into the long position here at the VWAP and the sweep of the lows, this is looking at the same level. Potentially some traders got stopped out at break even. Some of you maybe not stopped out because you have your stop loss beneath the low right there. You don't care about that small little loss, right? But we'd, you know, potentially be looking at the 618 Fibonacci, which is on the way, guys. Did anybody get into that long position based on the VWAP, the sweep of these lows, and the 78 Fibonacci? Just a little scalp, guys, a move of a few $100s. I think it could have a chance in getting above these lower highs. And let's see how the price reacts at this zone. We want to see some rejections, possible back test. Maybe this could be a shorting level. If it blasts through the level, then up we go to the highs from last Friday, right? From last Monday. My bad here. From last Monday, my bad. 69,500. Got in the long position, says the got into the long, says 𝗬𝗏𝗄𝗏 got into that long position from the VWAP, right? VWAP fake out. It was maintaining sweep of the low, 7/8 Fibonacci. Looking for this bouncy momentum, just of a few $100s. Already bouncing about $400. Good enough for a scalp. I think it might just as well sweep up these highs, and it will be a $500-600 bounce right there. Nice little scalp, guys. Congratulations if you did get into the long on the VWAP and you were not too defensive. If you were too defensive, could have got stopped out at break even, but nevertheless, not a losing trade, guys. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed and you learned something throughout this live stream, guys, looking at different technical tools and trying to analyze the waves and different scenarios. We'll be back with more tomorrow. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you in the next one.